Heads of states and governments representatives continue to take the floor on Saturday, the fifth day of the 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly. Our special envoy, Jorge Gestoso, with the details.
Thank you. Fifth day of the general debate here at the United Nations. We heard this morning 4 countries that are pretty relevant for our audience in Latin America. Standing for China, the foreign minister mentioned that there is a crossroads in the world in the moment that we are seeing, in which is absolutely a tendency unequivocal that it has no return, that is a multilateralism and the growth of the South countries. We're talking about the global South. It says that most definitely there is no room for countries like 1 or 2 that have tried to impose, dictate the agenda in the world, and they use the force as their politics. After that, we heard the foreign minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, that he mentioned in relation with the assassination of the leader of Hezbollah, Ramallah, and he mentions that he definitely is the victim of a political assassination, and what, according to his word, what Israel is trying to do is trying to drag the US into a war. I did have the opportunity to talk to him, to interview him after a press conference, making a couple of questions. One of the questions was how Russia was seeing the political situation in Latin America. He mentions that he praises the efforts of countries like organizations like CELAC, mentioned Lula. He says that the Monroe Doctrine is still alive in the region. And then I asked him, what about the next summit of BRICS in Kazan in Russia in about 3 weeks from now? And he says that, because my question was if we could expect another Latin American country to be admitted, and he said that he is hopeful, but there's a lot of bureaucracy in terms of steps that has to be taken. Also, we heard Mexico talking through her foreign minister, Alicia Bárcena. She got a standing ovation when she mentioned that in few days, the 1st of October, the first female, Claudia Sheinbaum, is taking over the presidency of Mexico. She denounces the assault of the embassy of Mexico in Quito that has been done by the policeman of the neoliberal Daniel Noboa to kidnap from the interior, from the inside of the embassy, a political asylee, someone who has received political asylum, that is a foreign ex-vice president of Ecuador, Jorge Gestoso, and then sent it to prison. And one of the last participants in this morning was Cuba, who again denounced the situation in Palestine, something that has been denounced throughout all the week, mentioned that is absolutely a genocide, and denounced the double standards of the US, that they are preaching certain values, but for example, through the sanctions applied to Cuba throughout the decades, it has created not only incredible economic damages, but he added for the first time also in terms of technologically, science, and other aspects of the life. All the life of Cuba has been really damaged by those sanctions. We get back to you now.